A 40-year-old single mom begins an unexpected romance with a 24-year-old boy band singer. The movie begins in Silver Lake, California. Soline Marchand is an art gallery owner and a single mother to her teenage daughter, Izzy. One day, Soline meets her friend Tracy at her gallery. Tracy asks Soline about her plans for her 40th birthday, but Soline doesn't have anything big planned. She only mentions taking a camping trip. Meanwhile, Izzy's friends, Georgia and Zeke, arrive at their house. The three teenagers are excited because they are heading to Coachella, where they have a meet and greet with the famous boy band August Moon. However, Izzy tells them she hasn't listened to their music in years. Later, Soline drives Izzy and her friends to the house of her ex-husband, Daniel, who is also Izzy's father. He lives with his second wife, Eva. Soline doesn't get along with them, but she tries to be civil for Izzy's sake. After dropping Izzy off, Soline returns home. That evening, Daniel shows up at Soline's house. He tells her he had been trying to reach her, but her phone was on airplane mode. He explains that he has to leave for work unexpectedly and can no longer take Izzy and her friends to Coachella as planned. Since there is no other option, Soline agrees to take them herself, even though she isn't excited about the idea. When they arrive at the festival, Soline tells Izzy she is stepping away to use the bathroom. Izzy, excited to be there, runs off with Georgia and Zeke. As Soline looks for a restroom, she unknowingly enters a trailer bathroom belonging to one of the members of August Moon, Hayes Campbell. As she steps out, she finds Hayes there. She is a little embarrassed for using his personal space, but Hayes doesn't seem to mind. They have a brief conversation and seem to get along well. However, when Soline realizes that Hayes is much younger than her, 16 years younger, she feels uncomfortable and quickly leaves. She reunites with Izzy and her friends just in time for their meet and greet with the band. Georgia and Zeke are thrilled to see August Moon, while Izzy tries to act uninterested. She even makes a few negative comments about them, not realizing that Hayes is listening. Instead of being offended, Hayes takes it in stride and jokes about it, which catches Soline's attention. Later, the crowd gathers for August Moon's performance. Despite her earlier hesitation, Soline finds herself enjoying the show. As the concert nears its end, Hayes makes a last-minute change to the setlist. He performs a song called Closer and, though he doesn't say it outright, it feels like he is dedicating it to Soline. Soline later celebrates her 40th birthday with friends and acquaintances. Tracy introduces her to several men closer to her age, hoping she might find someone interesting. However, most of them turn out to be either too odd or simply not a good match for her. Soline remains polite but isn't particularly interested in any of them. A few days later, while at work at her gallery, Soline is caught off guard when Hayes unexpectedly walks in. He tells her he was looking for new artwork and found her gallery after searching her online. Curious but skeptical, Soline gives him a brief tour, assuming he's just there to flirt or joke around. However, Hayes surprises her by saying he genuinely likes the pieces and wants to buy everything. Still unsure of his intentions, Soline invites Hayes to an art studio owned by one of her friends. As they explore the space, they talk about the art and their lives. Hayes opens up about his journey to becoming a member of August Moon, explaining that he went through a long and intense audition process. He describes his bandmates, Simon, Adrian, Rory, and Ollie, noting that each of them has a unique personality. However, he reflects on his own identity, saying that people mostly see him as just the English one, and sometimes he wonders what he would be doing if he weren't a famous musician. As Soline and Hayes leave the art studio, she notices a car nearby with fans taking pictures of Hayes. To avoid the attention, she suggests they go back to her house where they can eat in peace. Once there, she makes him a sandwich, and as they sit together, she opens up about her past. She tells Hayes how she discovered that Daniel had been cheating on her with Eva for over a year and how all their friends knew before she did. After talking, Hayes notices a piano in the living room and starts playing. Soline eventually joins him, and their chemistry becomes undeniable. As the moment intensifies, they start kissing. However, Soline hesitates, feeling conflicted about their significant age difference. She tries to pull away, but Hayes reassures her that he knows she feels the same way about him. Before things can go any further, Hayes decides to leave and has his driver take him back to his hotel, just in time for Izzy to arrive home from school. A few days later, Soline drops Izzy off at summer camp. While she is alone, she gets a message from Hayes, asking to see her again. He invites her to New York, and after some hesitation, she decides to go. She flies out and meets him at his hotel. This time, they don't hold back, and they sleep together. Later, as they spend time together, Hayes shares a story from his past. He tells Soline about an incident when a former manager once promised that his favorite musician wanted to meet him. Excited, Hayes went to the meeting, only to find out it was just the manager's daughter who wanted to take pictures with him and her musician friends. The experience left him feeling used and disrespected. He admits to Soline that his biggest fear is being seen as a joke. Soline decides to join Hayes as he tours across Europe with his band and entourage. Since Izzy is still at summer camp, Soline keeps their relationship a secret from everyone back home. She and Hayes spend time together, enjoying their new romance while avoiding public attention. One evening, while they are having dinner at a restaurant, they share a kiss, unaware that hidden paparazzi are secretly taking pictures of them. Later, Soline joins Hayes, his bandmates, and their girlfriends by the pool. They chat and joke around, but things take a turn when Ollie casually brings up how Hayes dedicated his song to Soline at Coachella. Ollie explains that this is something the band members often do whenever they meet a girl they like. He even mentions that Hayes had done the same thing not long ago for an older Swedish woman. Hearing this, Soline feels humiliated. She starts to wonder if she was just another woman in a long line of fleeting romances for Hayes. Hurt and upset, she decides to end things with him. Without giving him a chance to explain, she packs up and returns to Silver Lake. When she arrives home, she finds a package waiting for her. It's a painting from Hayes. Even though she ended things, he still sent her something meaningful, leaving her with mixed emotions. Soline meets with Daniel and Eva after finding out that they bought Izzy a car for her upcoming senior year. While the gesture is generous, Soline feels left out of the decision-making. During their conversation, Daniel suddenly brings up the pictures of Soline and Hayes at the restaurant, questioning her about the relationship. Soline, annoyed by his hypocrisy, reminds him that he has no right to judge her after cheating on her with Eva for over a year. Daniel has no real response, clearly uncomfortable with the truth being thrown back at him. After Daniel leaves, Eva pulls Soline aside for a private conversation. She unexpectedly reveals that she is leaving Daniel. She also tries to form a friendship with Soline, perhaps out of guilt or a desire to move forward, but Soline isn't interested. Later, Soline receives a message from Hayes, warning her not to go online. Confused, she checks the internet and is horrified to see paparazzi photos of her and Hayes on the beach. The media has labeled her a cougar asterisk, and the images have gone viral. When she goes to pick up Izzy from summer camp, it becomes clear that the news has spread everywhere. Some people congratulate her, while others passive-aggressively mention that their daughters are upset about the relationship. Izzy, hurt by the secrecy, confronts Soline about hiding the truth from her. Though she is initially upset, she quickly forgives her mother. Instead of judging her, Izzy tells Soline that if Hayes truly makes her happy, she shouldn't let public opinion stop her from being with him. Soline decides to find Hayes at the recording studio, and when she does, they rekindle their romance. Izzy, having already come to terms with their relationship, supports her mother but takes precautions by having her friends stay off social media to avoid unnecessary attention. However, their attempt at privacy fails. Paparazzi swarm Soline's house constantly, making it difficult to live a normal life. Daniel, furious about the media frenzy, shows up to confront both Soline and Hayes before taking Izzy to school. Things get worse when Soline starts seeing hateful comments online, attacking her for dating a younger man. Izzy also confesses that girls at school have been asking her for inappropriate pictures of Hayes, and to make matters worse, a boy she liked told her he was only interested in her because he hoped to hook up with Soline. Seeing how much the relationship is affecting her daughter, Soline realizes she can't continue like this. When Hayes returns from New York, he meets with Soline, but she heartbreakingly tells him that they need to end things for good. The stress and negativity surrounding them are too much, especially for Izzy. Later, Hayes shows up at Soline's house one last time. He suggests that maybe in 5 years, when Izzy is done with college, they could pick things up again. But Soline, with tears in her eyes, tells him that if he ever finds true happiness, he should go for it. They share one final, emotional kiss before he leaves, but not before leaving his watch with her as a reminder of what they had. 5 years later, Soline and Izzy stay in touch through video calls as Izzy prepares to finish school. One evening, while watching the Graham Norton show, Soline is surprised to see Hayes as a guest. During the interview, he talks about wanting to see someone back in California, and Soline can't help but wonder if he means her. The next day at work, Soline is lost in thought when she hears the door open. She turns around, and standing there, after all these years, is Hayes. Shocked and overjoyed, she realizes that maybe their love story isn't over after all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.